You send a message, they do not reply, and within minutes, your mind has already built the whole disaster. They are upset. You said something wrong. They are pulling away. This is going to become a problem. Something is changing. You are about to lose something. But pause. What actually happened? One message has not been answered yet. That is the fact. Everything after that is the story your mind created from a single fact. And this is how worst case scenarios take your energy. Something happens, a delay, a tone, a mistake, a change in someone's behavior, an unexpected bill, a meeting invite from your manager, an expression on someone's face. And before you have actually taken the time to see what it means, your mind has already jumped to the worst possible ending. Your body starts reacting as if the disaster is already real. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your thoughts speed up. You are no longer responding to what happened. You are responding to what you are imagining. Because the subconscious does not only respond to logic, it responds to what you feel as true. So when you keep feeling and fueling the worst case scenario as if it has already happened, you are not preparing yourself. You are rehearsing fear. You're giving energy to an outcome that may not even arrive. Today's reading is about interrupting that behavior. Not by pretending nothing can go wrong, not by forcing a fake sense of positivity, but by taking your imagination back from fear before it turns one event into an entire disaster. If you found your way to Radiant Energy today, this message is for the part of you that goes straight from one small sign to the worst possible outcome. The part of you that reads silence as rejection, delay as danger, uncertainty as proof that something bad is coming. The oracle cards that came through for this energy today informed how this is happening in your life already. And to uproot this from your system, we will move into guided meditation, which will help you stop feeding the fear with your attention, your body, and your feelings. Headphones are recommended if you want the full experience. Take a breath and let's look at the cards. The first card is Stardust Memories. This card is asking you to remember what you are, what you really are, before you let fear write your story. When your mind is spiraling through fear, you forget this. You become the unanswered message, the possible rejection, the punishment for a mistake, the future problem. And you collapse into this scenario your mind has created. But this card is bringing you back to a larger truth. You are not the worst case scenario. You are the awareness, noticing it. That distinction is crucial. Because if you feel you are the scenario, you would feel trapped inside it. But if you are the awareness noticing the scenario, you get to choose where your attention goes next. The next card I drew today is Stillness. This card is very direct. In stillness, the spiral cannot keep running without your attention. It needs your focus, your emotional reactions. It needs you to replay the feared outcome again and again. So here, stillness is not about doing nothing, but stillness is the moment you stop feeding the story long enough to actually see what is happening. Not what might happen, what you fear will happen. What is actually happening right now? And then the card that closed today's reading was Cosmic Alignment. This card connects strongly with many teachings. The teachings that say our emotions are the secret, because the subconscious accepts what is impressed upon it through what you are feeling. So if your mind is imagining disaster, your body is feeling disaster. Your emotional inner state is then aligned with disaster. Cosmic alignment is asking you to bring your inner state back into agreement with the outcome you actually want. Not by denying reality, but by refusing to emotionally live inside a disaster that has not happened, and it is only within the confines of your mind. Together, these cards are saying, come back to awareness, enter stillness, then choose the feeling you're willing to impress on the subconscious. Because the worst case scenario does not need more of your energy. Your chosen reality does. Now we move into a form of meditation. So if it is safe for you to close your eyes, close them now. But if you're listening while moving through your day, you can keep your eyes open. The words will land and be received where they need to be. Now take a breath in and let it out. Bring to your mind the biggest situation that you're facing right now, where you have started this spiral, and the disaster your mind has created around it. Now just look at the actual situation, the facts, and just the fact that a message may not have been answered. You felt that a tone was different. There is a delay. You made a mistake. You're experiencing an unexpected change. The thing that made your mind jump ahead is what you need to separate from the facts of the story. The fact is what actually happened. The story is what your mind decided it might mean. So step back now to where you left the reality, which was factual, and jumped into a fantasy land of disaster. Ask yourself, what is the fact in this situation? Take a minute to really look at the facts. Nothing from your imagination has permission right now to have your attention right now. You're only looking for the fact. Once you have firmly decided what are the facts, now ask, what story did my mind build around that fact? Think of all the things that you imagined. Think of all the things that you thought could happen, would happen, should happen. Notice the difference. One is information, the other is projection. Fact is what happened. The imagination of your future and the fears within it is what you started rehearsing. So now look at that worst case scenario your mind created. You have the facts. What are you afraid they will turn into? And where did you feel that fear? Notice what happened in your body when you imagined that worst case scenario outcome. Did you feel your chest tighten or your stomach drop? Did your breathing change or your jaw clenched? Did your mind start moving faster? This is crucial and it matters because your body is reacting as if this imagined outcome is already happening. And this is where you're giving power and your energy to the spiral. The event hasn't even happened, but your mind keeps replaying the imagined disaster. You may be excusing this by saying, I'm preparing my options. I'm seeing what paths I can take now that this event has happened. The event happened once, but in every replay, you're giving the body, your body, the same instruction. You're replaying the worst case scenarios and making your body believe this is real. It is happening. Prepare for the worst. Take a breath in now and let it out. And now with conviction, say inside yourself, the story I am telling myself are just images in my mind. They are not the final truth. This is fear trying to predict what it cannot know. Again, these are images in my mind. They are not the final truth. This is fear trying to predict what it cannot know. Now bring in stillness, not as an escape, as an interruption to the old patterns that fear has been spiraling through within your body for as long as you can remember. So for the next few breaths, stop adding to the story and remain with the facts. Do not explain or predict. Just breathe. Breathe in and let it out. And do this again. Breathe in and let it out. Now ask, what do I actually know right now? Not what I fear or assume, not what I am preparing for. What do I actually know right now? And stop at the facts. Do not add to them. Let the answer be as simple as the facts are. Maybe all you know is they have not replied yet. A meeting has been scheduled. The result is still pending. The money has not yet arrived. You felt that the conversation was different. Something changed. That is enough. Stay with what is known. Do not give the unknown a disaster script. Now we work with the feeling, the emotions, because that's what the subconscious responds to. The emotions and the feelings that are impressed upon it. So if you keep feeling the feared outcome as real, you keep feeding the state inside yourself that you do not want to continue. This does not mean you cause everything that happens around you. And it does not mean that you start living in a fantasy land where you deny reality. It means you stop giving emotional energy to an outcome that has not happened. So spend some time searching for the answer of this next question. What feeling have I been feeding through my energy? What emotions have been draining me of my energy? Is it fear, rejection, loss, failure, abandonment, embarrassment, defeat, uncertainty? Think about it and name the feeling. Once you have found the feeling, say inside yourself, I see the feeling I have been feeding. I do not have to keep feeding it. Again, I see the feeling I have been feeding. I do not have to keep feeding it. And then the next step, we will remove the energy from the worst case scenario and place it into the outcome you want to strengthen. So bring the situation back that led you into the last spiral of worst case scenario and ask yourself, what is the outcome I actually want here? Not the desperate outcome, not the outcome that comes from panic or logic, the clean outcome. The outcome that to you would feel calm, respectful, stable, and right. Do you want maybe the message to be answered clearly? Maybe the meeting happens and the conversation goes better than expected? Maybe the delay turns out to be harmless or actually works out in your favor. Maybe the person is not upset, they were just preoccupied. Maybe after waiting for so long, the result comes through and bolsters whatever it is that you desire. Choose the outcome you want to give energy to. Now do not just think about it, feel it. If that outcome were already settled, what would your body feel? Relief, calm, confidence, security, trust, self-respect, happiness. Choose the feeling that you want in the resolved outcome of the best case scenario. And let that feeling become physical. If the feeling is calm, let your shoulders lower. If you're feeling clarity, let your breathing slow down. If the feeling is trust, let your chest soften. If the feeling is self-respect, feel that you're a little taller. If the feeling is security, let your body feel supported. Do not think about this feeling only from a distance. Enter it. You know how to do it. You have done it often enough when you have felt the worst case outcomes and the fear and the uncertainty that goes with it. Now choose to enter it with certainty and no fear. Let your body receive this outcome as the new instruction, that this is the state you choose. This is the feeling you want to impress. And this is where you will place your attention and energy going forward. So return to the situation that you were spiraling due to the message, the delay, the change. But this time you are not entering it from the door of fear. You are entering it from the feeling you chose. Now ask yourself, if I stayed in this chosen feeling, what would I do differently? How would I react? What could I imagine? Maybe you would wait before reacting. Maybe you would stop checking again and again. Maybe you would stop building meaning from silences or meetings that are yet to happen. Maybe you would let time reveal what is true, and what is true will come about based on what you feel is true. So stop punishing yourself by thinking about the worst case scenarios. You deserve to reward yourself, even if you do not know yet. So lead your imagination down a different path once the facts have been laid out. Feel free to separate the fact from the worst case scenario story you had built. Stop rehearsing disaster. Take your energy back from the worst case scenario and firmly place it in the outcome you choose. Let your body rehearse safety instead of disaster. Choose the feeling you're willing to live from. Again, I separate fact from story. I stop rehearsing disaster. I take my energy back from the worst case scenario. I place my energy in the outcome I choose. I let my body rehearse safety instead of disaster. I choose the feeling I'm willing to live from. Take a breath in and let it out. Bring your attention to the stillness within you, because only once you become still is where the spiral of fear loses momentum. In stillness, you stop giving fear permission to keep writing the story. It is where you pause long enough to choose your state. Remember, you are not an actor in the images of your mind. You are the attention. You are the one noticing these images. And you are the one who can change them by choosing where your energy goes. Alignment does not have to mean everything outside of you is perfect. It means that your inner state is no longer being controlled by the worst things you can imagine inside your mind. Your energy comes back to the outcome you're choosing. Your body stops living inside a disaster that has not happened. And your attention returns to what you want to strengthen. Take another breath and say inside yourself, my imagination belongs to me. My attention belongs to me. My feeling belongs to me. I stop handing them to fear. I stop making the worst case scenario feel real. I choose the outcome I want to strengthen. I let the resolved outcome feel real inside me. I return to the feeling I want to live from. Now take one final breath in and let it out slowly. In this moment, when you wake up and you're back into reality, the situation may still be unresolved, where the message is still unanswered. The outcome may still be unclear. But you have chosen to no longer feed the most frightening version of it. You have taken your own energy back, where you can respond when there is something real to respond to. You no longer live in the disaster your mind created. You have given your energy to the outcome that you want. You have seen how quickly the mind can turn one moment into a whole disaster. And you have also seen how you can take your energy back from there and turn the same moment into a perfect version of what you want. This session was a little different from some of the work we have done so far on Rradiant Energy. It was more practical and direct, more focused on how the mind creates the spiral and how we can interrupt it before it becomes the state we live from. If this style helped you, please let me know in the comments. If you would like more videos like this, where we take a real life emotional pattern and work through it in a practical way, using the cards, meditations, and deeper teachings, let me know. And if you feel comfortable sharing, tell me where your mind builds these worst case scenarios. Are they in relationships, work, money, health, family? This will help me create more videos and also help me align my energy with the collective's energy. And irrespective, someone else reading your comment may realize they are not the only one whose mind jumps ahead before life has actually answered. I welcome you to take what resonates. Let the rest pass. Thank you for letting me walk through this moment with you. If this reading and meditation spoke to something in you, subscribe to Rradiant Energy for more energy readings, guided resets, and practical spiritual reflections. Until next time, stay blessed.